we all carry a signature of behaviour. Once you know what it is, it's a question of then not letting that be the priority. It's not a question of excluding it, it's just changing the percentages of it. If you try to exclude it completely, it's rather like any animal that's trained too rigidly or strictly. I think probably children too. That it'll sneak out somewhere. So it's important that you allow your patterns to play, but not to become a priority. They're not the centre stage. Is that a relief for you? You're not looking to extinguish the patterns, but you are looking to know what they are so that you see them when they rise, rather than being the default that you don't notice. Yeah? So it's replacing that pattern with a different pattern as the centre of your identity. Thank you. If you allow stillness to be at the centre, then you can come and go from that stillness, and also recognise sometimes you go out or something comes in and there's a trigger of agitation. So rather than coming and going from stillness, the behaviour leaps with the characteristic energy onto the next event. So that you might take an excitement here, and rather than it returning to stillness and then going out to the next activity, the excitement leaps into the next activity where it's inappropriate.
I noticed that with pacing, it played for a couple of thoughts,
Yeah.
and then it's turned back.
So if you see it, you can let it go and return to the stillness. It's not a question of pushing away the thing, because automatically it's going. It's only if you grab at it and try to make a habit of it that it stays. How was your observation?
It's pretty good. Sort of cycle of different kinds of thinking. But I was also...
What about mood?
Very
No curiosity, control, self-consciousness. No?
Yeah, there were those things, that kind of movements.
Oh yeah, definitely mood. Yes. One of the important things is to recognise that there is no need to understand something in order to let it go. Letting go is complete within itself. It lets go of everything, and not specifics, and it doesn't have to know how to let go of something, because the letting go is letting go. So you never need to comprehend what it is you're letting go of. Merely let it go.
Letting go, and obviously you see the kind of control that kind of kicks in, and actually letting go becomes at times way better of actually letting go of control, and then realising.
Does that happen in sitting or in everyday life, or both? Or?
It's sitting towards the end, I noticed I slightly shifted my attention away from the day, and then when it starts,
It's okay.
change. It seems to anyway, and it's again I thinking more practice. and then
But-
bring it back.
Okay, so there's a practice called shikantaza. It's normally not given to beginners because it requires an absolute belief or clarity of knowing that within this being there is a liberated state, and you know that beyond anything. The reason that that's a requirement before you can practice shikantaza is because there is no making or doing involved at all. There's just the awareness that I don't need to do anything at all because it's already done. All I have to do is get out of the way and let it express itself in this moment. It's not good enough that you know that theoretically. You have to know it at the core of your experience of what you are. And usually there's a need to build up some sense of confidence of the glimpses of this deep stillness that you experience, or insight, and then it's possible to say, okay, what's that? I don't need to do anything. And that's the case with letting go. You don't need to do anything. It's never a case of having to try to be still. Stillness comes of its own accord.
It's amazing these last few days. The punctuations. It's so easy that it's just sitting quietly and there. Stillness. Profound. And just sitting in the garden, it's just suddenly there's the awareness of everything around me. And it's just moving.
Sure. If the rhythm of your practice gets disjointed, that's the point you have to. You need these little flags that recognise, I haven't done that practice today. Why have I avoided such and such? When there's a rhythm of stillness in your everyday life, and it gets out of sync. The moment that you see that the habit of being still is broken, you need to recognise the danger signals. You've got red lights that should be flashing saying something's not right here. Some game is playing itself out, and they've been played for many years, so they're not just they don't just disappear because you think you found something. You know, they're going to come up and try to include your practice as part of the game. So you have to be awake to that. It's helpful. Yes.
The same mistake over and over again.
Yes.
And it's tiring.
Are you bored yet? Or is it still interesting?
Well, I still do it, so why do I still do it?
No.
Yes.
You do it because you do it because you do it. It gives a sense of security. And there is, believe me, no reason why at any level, unless you put a hurdle in the way of it to prevent it happening or to know that it's happening, it will continue for the rest of your life. It will just get more subtle. When you were young, you probably played it. And it was just, now you've got a little bit more sophisticated. And you'll continue to play it. You cannot relinquish a pattern unless you have something to replace it with. There has to be something, some structure at the centre of your life that you have confidence in, that you trust. If that's not there, You see, you have confidence in this game. You may not like it, whatever it is, but it's there, and it's been there all your life. It's something you have a lot of faith in. Even though you might not like it, you know that it's strong in you. It's just a habit. But you have to create a new habit at the centre of and make that a priority. And then gradually you'll recognise, I can actually go for a period of time without that coming in and destroying everything. Yeah?
I assume that people, when I lose awareness, it's as if people are causing my suffering rather than me
No.
causing my suffering.
No. You are totally responsible.
I realise that, but that's what...
And it's that relinquishing of responsibility that in a way gives you permission to let the pattern go its full course. It's not me being done to me. So that there's nothing I can do about it. I've just got to experience this extreme suffering. And again, because people, just meet the wrong kind. This won't change until you fall in love within yourself. And then that's the beginning, albeit romantic, of a partnership and a companionship within you to this quality of ease and well-being that all the games can go to as a place of rest and can move on. But until that quality of stillness is at the centre of you and is the priority within you, there will be distrust of it. And you'll notice there'll still be the attempt to create stillness rather than to bow to it and to allow yourself to dive into it. It'll still be the feeling, I have to do this in order that I can get what I want, get rid of the things I want to get rid of. And in that sense, there's a need for understanding what service is about. That you serve this quality. You're not its master. You're the maid. You come in and make sure the place is clean in order that that quality can express itself through this being. And that means not that you have to go dusting with a nice black skirt on. It's the making sure that the body is at rest. That it's learning to be habitually centered. The breath, you know where the breath should be. The shoulders aren't hanging out and the head's not doing stuff. And the body's not turning in and all the emotions getting stuck here. So that is your job as a servant, so that this quality comes through so easily once, the place is a bit tidy. First you have to learn habits of stillness, and then you have to live those habits. And you'll probably do a little bit of each at a time. So it's not important that you're getting everything perfectly right, but it is important that you're applying what you are learning to everyday things. Most importantly, this feeling of letting go in the breath, that you apply that to the things that you engage with. And you can trust it, you won't, but you can trust it that if you truly just let go and let things come and go on the rhythm of your out-breathing rather than the rhythm of your in-breathing, that your life's direction can change and renew itself in a direction that is applicable to the quality of you as you are when you are expressing out that stillness and that insight. It's very difficult, particularly with people who are clever, to emphasize how important this physical practice is in profoundly changing the state of mind and the direction of the life that's lived. You do not need to be clever to do this practice, and often that cleverness impedes the practice because you think a peaceful thought and you think that that's enough. But it's only when that peacefulness goes into action that you have actually engaged. Peaceful thinking is lovely and it's helpful, but it's not until your body expresses that quality of ease and peace, and then you really have done something substantial in the world.
Realising as you reference in this week the emotional wisdom, I had all the things obviously going on and when we were talking I realised I'd forgotten the essential thing and it was just truly very
Yeah. The more that you practice, the more you can say. And it's okay to start again. Start again from here. You don't have to have any recriminations. Just start again and let things begin from this new place, with the knowledge that there is goodwill for it. And there's nothing that you have to apologize for in your past. You don't have to make up for anything. Always start from here. Yeah? Observe where agitation is the priority and where it's very resistant to that sense of ease. When you're punctuating during the day, just observe what it is that's saying, no, I can't let go of this feeling, because if I let go of it, something important in my life will be affected, and I can't allow it to be affected. And that's that resistance that's saying, I have to keep control here, or I have to show irritation, or I have to establish my standing in this situation. It's important that I make it clear, whatever it is. Just to see if you can, in recognising that, just, okay, just let go. Let go of the most important things. Just let them go. See what happens.
It would have been very helpful at the end of the hour. I sat and just breathed for 10 breaths, and then briefly, because I was on and carried some of just unusual
Once you establish these punctuations, it does point to the fact that there are other times when you just would never punctuate. You're not going to go there. And you begin to recognise these areas are areas which are precious to me, and they're painful because of it. And it can begin a process of accepting I need to change my behaviour here. And it's quite often in areas that mean something to you. And that you know would benefit from you not clutching at them. So it helps. It's the beginning of a process that's saying, I'm not only going to give the superficial things in my life a chance to be clear and still, I am going to try to let things that are quite complex in terms of who I am, the things that belong to me, the things that I've dedicated my life to, and that I've dedicated that sense of what my life is as a form of fear or anxiety or greed or need, and that I was that when I dedicated myself. I didn't want to be, but that's how it ended up. And that I have to rededicate myself by stepping away and letting go. You can't, if you're gripping onto something, you can't change that until you first, that you let it go. Then you can adjust your relationship to it from that. But the first act has to be to let go of the habit that is holding on to it. And that requires the skill of letting go. It has to come from a place that has trust in it. It's not a trick, because at that level you won't trust tricks. You don't trust your cleverness at that level. But again, the route is not to say, right, now I'm going to let go of the thing that's hurting my life. The route is, now I'm going to let go of this cup, and now I'm going to let go of going through the door. Now, and then gradually you'll find, I'm letting go of things that are a little bit bigger than just going through the door. With the knowledge that in the end I will truly let go and let everything update as a consequence of this habit that I'm establishing. So we better get on with it, haven't we? Thank you.